Rendering Scene Options. In this lesson, we are going to discuss all the basic options needed for basic rendering. If you remember, we have done one pendulum animation. Let's take that as an example. Here I've already opened it. Now, let's start rendering. Select Pendulum and press F10, or go to the Rendering menu and click Render. As you click it, the Render Scene window will appear. As you can see, 4 rollouts are present here: Common Parameter, Email Notification, Script, and Assign Renderer in Common tab. At this moment, we will see only Common Parameter and Assign Renderer rollouts. So let's start. Click the plus symbol to expand the Common Parameters list. The Time Output group provides all options to choose which frame you want to render. Single will render only the current frame. Active Time Segment is the current visible range of frames as shown in the time slider. Range includes all the frames between the specified numbers. Frames shows non-sequential frames separated by commas, for example 2, 5, or a range of frames separated by hyphens, for example 0 to 5. Output Size group provides options to select any of the predefined sizes or enter another size in the width and height field in pixels. The drop-down list provides a huge list of size presets. Aperture Width lets you specify the camera aperture that creates the rendered output. Changing this value changes the camera's lens value. This affects the relationship between the lens and the FOV values, but it doesn't change the camera's view of the scene. Image Aspect and Pixel Aspect helps in fixing image width and height aspect ratio and pixel ratio, respectively. You can lock your fixed value by clicking this lock symbol. Option Group provides rendering options for atmospherics. When turned on, renders any applied atmospheric effects, such as volume fog. Effects, when turned on, renders any applied rendering effects, such as blur. Displacement renders any applied displacement mapping. Video Color Check checks for pixel colors that are beyond the safe NTSC or PAL. Render to Fields renders to video fields rather than frames when creating animations for video. Render Hidden Geometry renders all geometric objects in the scene, even if they are hidden. Area Lights, Shadows as Points, renders all area lights or shadows as if they were emitted from point objects, speeding up rendering time. Force Two-Sided renders both sides of all faces. Super Black limits the darkness of rendered geometry for video compositing. Leave it off unless you're sure you need it. The Advanced Lighting group provides advanced lighting options like Use Advanced Lighting. When this option is on, the software incorporates a radiosity solution or light tracing in the rendering. Radiosity is rendering technology that realistically simulates the way in which light interacts in an environment, and the light tracer provides soft-edged shadows and color bleeding for brightly lit scenes, such as outdoor scenes. Compute Advanced Lighting when required. When this option is on, the software computes radiosity when required on a per-frame basis. Radiosity is rendering technology that realistically simulates the way in which light interacts in an environment. The Bitmap Proxies group displays whether 3D Max is using full-resolution maps or bitmap proxies for rendering. If changes are needed, then click the Setup button. Render Output group provides options for rendered output. Save File. The rendered image or animation will be saved to disk when you render if this option is on. Save File is available only after you specify the output file using the Files button. Files opens the Render Output File window, which lets you specify the output file name, format, and location. Rendered Frame window displays the rendered output in the Rendered Frame window. Click Files and give a name to your animation and choose the appropriate format. Finally, click Save. AVI compression window will appear. Click OK. Now, frame-by-frame rendering is in progress, and so this is your first animation.